want to play one last thing, just Joy Taylor. And again, this is what women do. Instead of lifting up Caitlin Clark, instead of lifting up Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan and the people that could rain millions and greatness on everybody, we try to diminish Caitlin Clark, or particularly women. Crabs in a barrel. That's women. Here's Joy Taylor on Joe Budden Podcast or one of these ghetto podcasts, trying to be controversial, trying to build her own self up by diminishing Caitlin Clark and by saying something farcical about Angel Reese. Play the clip.
I'm a storyteller. I think storylines are so important. I think you need villains. I think you need heroes. Mm-hmm. You need shit to sell. You got to sell a fight, like brand all of this. Mm-hmm. And it upset white men to watch this strong, winning, unapologetic black woman be in their, be in Caitlin's face.
In their savior's face.
Yeah. And they still cling to it. And it's now like spun to this whole thing where like Caitlin's better than Angel and blah, blah, blah. I just said, we would not be talking about Caitlin Clark the way that we do if it wasn't for that moment with Angel Reese. And I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill.
I was with you until that.
I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. I will fight this war.
Joy. Steve, what did you think about Joy Taylor doubling down once again with, without Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark isn't nearly the big deal?
When I heard that, look, with Joy, we know what she's about. We know why these shows have her on. But I think it's completely the opposite. I mean, let's go back to that situation a couple years ago. LSU beats Iowa. They become the national titleists. The reality is the Caitlin Clark Express was starting to gain steam. Not just with you, but with other people. People liked her game. And I've said this rivalry has nothing to do with actual basketball skill or ability. It really does not. And if that never happens, that gesture, the taunting at the end, I don't think anyone talks about Caitlin Clark at all, ever. She's just a cog in that machine, that loaded roster.
Angel Reese,
of LSU.
you mean?
Right, Angel Reese.
Angel Reese. You said Caitlin Clark. You said Caitlin Clark.
Right. Well, Caitlin Clark has basically been, I would say, at least 80 to 90% of the impetus for anyone having any type of discussion or interest in women's basketball, and certainly the WNBA. I mean, when we think of Caitlin Clark, we could think of a lot of great moments, a lot of great plays, big three-pointers, fancy passes, her getting assaulted, her being like this epicenter of the league and the way it's viewed. When you think of Angel Reese, I think that moment for her will now be a defining moment, and also me bounds and her shaking her ass for Sexy Red. So again, with Joy Taylor, this is why I think women, or certain women, like they want to be taken seriously as sports commentators, and to be honest, most people simply don't.
Steve, TJ Moe and I have been having a conversation off air about whether the WNBA is going to destroy this Caitlin Clark opportunity. Maybe not Caitlin Clark, but this Caitlin Clark opportunity. And TJ, I don't want to mischaracterize, put words in his mouth, but he's pretty firm, like, this isn't going to work. They're going to destroy this Caitlin Clark opportunity, and the WNBA is going to fade back into irrelevance. Don't want to put words in TJ's mouth, but I feel real confident. TJ's probably listening. TJ, if I've misstated your position at all, let me know via text or, hop on and I'll let you clarify. But I disagreed with TJ very strongly when we started this conversation. I'm now at a point where I'm like, you know what? He may be right. The hate and the stupidity of this league, is because I have to acknowledge, particularly as her play has waned, and she had the one great game this year, but she hasn't been consistently great this season, and I am a tiny bit less interested.
What? Really?
Yeah, I got it, and I'm starting to think that. Yeah, TJ's saying I should say it a bit more harshly, and I would have nailed his position. But yeah, I'm a little bit shaken and like, hey man, they're gonna ruin this. I am a little less interested.
Oh my, Jason, this is perfect. Because in a couple weeks, rookies report to NFL training camp. Oh, this is good. But Jason, to your point, this league, and I've told you this before, that whole culture, right? It's the most unlikable of any league by far. And I'm talking from the players to the coaches to the commentators to the content creators to those who defend it at all costs. And I think it's a lot like American cities that have like these female black DEI mayors. Have you seen the state of most of these jurisdictions? My God, from Tiffany Henyard to Mayor Karen Bass. And I almost get the sense that the WNBA, like these cities, they would rather fail miserably with black women in charge than to have anyone else lead them to success. So to TJ's point, I think there is a lot of validity to what he thinks.
Because TJ's point and me with this soap opera analogy, here's what would happen on these soap operas. Because I remember, like the Ice Princess storyline on General Hospital, and this was before you probably started watching it. But the Mikos Cassadine and all that stuff that went on, I would watch less of General Hospital when that farcical stuff was going on, knowing that, hey, if I come back in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, I'll still be able to follow the storylines because the storylines move pretty slowly because they came on 5 days a week. And so over time, the farcical storylines would undermine the support of the show. And it's like one of the reasons why, because I watched a lot of ABC soaps, but I didn't watch a lot of Ryan's Hope. I'd only watch it occasionally, is because they would get off into farcical storylines like King Kong or whatever. And so I it's like, I'm not going to walk away from the WNBA, but this farcical stuff that they're doing, this fingernails on a chalkboard stuff from the broadcast teams to even the studio teams. This is I can no longer. I initially kind of enjoyed Elle Duncan, Andrea Carter, and Chimney Agumake, I think is her name. I initially enjoyed them, and primarily because I find that Andrea Carter really attractive, and I thought she was fun and blah blah blah. But now I can't stand them, and I immediately go to mute on halftime because they've worn me out. They never have really good sound analysis. It's always, hey, look how cute and how fun we are. And so I don't watch the halftime stuff at all, or I put it on mute. And so that is where I think TJ is probably right. If they're losing me, who's all in on this stuff, I do think they're probably losing everybody, and I think they're going to ruin this. I have less, not that I was ever hopeful, but I watch the WNBA now more for just Caitlin Clark to see what's going on, but also to see if I can use it as an example to say, see, this is what matriarchal leadership does. This is what it looks like. This is the hot mess it's creating. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.